whatever you're doing throughout the day, to come share some time and you just listen to some of their stories. I know there's other people that want to do their welcome, so we're going to start with that. We thought the horses were coming, but we had a very tragic accident at home. We had 8 of our young people in the car, and they rolled it and rolled it and rolled it. 2 of them did not survive. The others were banged up pretty bad. That is why there's not that many people here today. They had to stay home with their loved ones, with the young ones. The community is in sorrow right now, the whole school system. That's just an explanation of why we're low in number today. Next year, maybe I'll be in that category and won't be here. We never know. That's up to the Creator. When the Creator says, come here, you go. But this time I want to exclude these people and thank them, but I'm going to ask the drummer an honor song. And that honor song is going to be for all the ones that were here ahead of us. And some of the ones they mentioned, all the Redheart people that have come here since 98, throughout the years. Whether they're nest person or whether they're non-nest person. A lot of the people that were in the color guard, they're no longer with us. We've lost a lot of people since 98. So at this time I'm going to ask the drum for an honor song for their memory. Whenever you're ready, drum. And I would like to encourage those of you that can, if you will stand, you don't, if you cannot stand long, then remain seated. There's some of us that can't stand very long, and if you start getting tired, your knees start getting out, feel free to sit back down. That's all right. Thank you. Chairman Barnett, David, on behalf, I know I can speak on behalf of the people that were here, and I'm sure all the ones that are sitting in a circle will join me in thanking you for your hospitality, you and your people at the Out. All of you.
Thank you, Scotty. Counselors, would you come, please, and join us? Scotty, on the behalf of the Vancouver City Council, we have a gift for the tribe for your children as a scholarship opportunity. I stand with Counselor, there we go, Counselor Paulson, Harless, and Perez. And with us this afternoon, we also have with us former Mayor Royce Pollard. This has been a ceremony that we have enjoyed, and Scotty, thank you so much for bringing everyone together again this year. And if you noticed, we had that eagle that was flying earlier today. They always seem to find us on this beautiful day, and the sun burned off the fog, and the eagle came out. We have a proclamation that gives a little bit of the story of the Nez Perce. Whereas the Nez Perce lived in harmony with nature and were a peaceful nation inhabiting southeast Washington, northeast Oregon, and northern Idaho. And the Nez Perce coexisted with new settlers for many decades until the treaty rights and human rights of the tribe were violated. And during the Nez Perce War of 1877, 33 members of Chief Redheart's band, intent upon avoiding war and returning to their homes, were taken into custody and imprisoned unlawfully at Vancouver Barracks from August 7, 1877 to April 22nd, 1878. And whereas a member of the band, the infant son of Little Bear, died in captivity and was buried in an unmarked grave at Vancouver Barracks, and the Nez Perce show their esteem for their ancestors and preserve and honor their cultural heritage with traditional memorial ceremonies at locations of significance in their history. And where it is very important for the young tribal members to learn from and honor their ancestors. And the annual ceremony in Vancouver commemorates the date in 1878 when Chief Redheart's band of the Nez Perce were released from captivity at Vancouver Barracks, and includes ceremonial singing, the riderless horse ceremony, sacred pipe ceremony, and recognition of veterans. And whereas Wilfred Scott, tribal elder of the Nez Perce tribe, encourages commemoration of this event as a starting point for learning more about the ancestors and the part they played in events based upon their commitment to actions they believed in. And the issue, he says, is not to question the hows and whys of history, but to take pride in knowing about the decisions the ancestors made and to honor them for their dedication to following the paths they chose. Each memorial ceremony is another opportunity to learn from the stories of the elders and to honor them for their steadfastness in their pursuit of their ideals. And whereas for the past 24 years, this traditional ceremony has created a new legacy for the grandchildren of Chief Redheart's band, the Wood family ancestors, and the citizens of Vancouver to come together to commemorate and honor their sacrifices and courage. And whereas this traditional memorial ceremony conducted at the site of imprisonment of the Redheart band will take place on today, April 23rd, 2022 at 10 a.m. on the Fort Vancouver National Historic Site. Now therefore I, Ann McInerney Ogle, Mayor of Vancouver, do hereby join with the Nez Perce in honoring the memory of their ancestors and encourage all citizens to join in this observance. Thank you so very much. Superintendent Tracy Fortman come forward, please. Thank you, Mayor. Can you guys hear me? So, closer? Okay. My heart is full today. I, as a new superintendent, first came to this ceremony in 2000. And I can remember it as if it were yesterday. I see so many faces out here, and first of all, thank you, Mayor. You're so wonderful. And thank you for being here and your thoughtful comments. But I look at the folks that have also been here from day one. There's Royce Pollard, as the mayor noted before, Bob Knight, Larry Smith, Mike Burton, and so many others who've always been here too. I think about the many times that I've come, and I will always be here as superintendent. But even when I leave, I know that I'll come back. I want to share one of the times that touched me the most, and that was as a young mother with a young baby boy. And so not as just a superintendent, but as a mother, I felt the tremendous pain and hardship of the loss of that baby boy. And I think what is so powerful about this ceremony is that it allows us to recognize the tragedies of our past, but come together and make a better world together. Scotty, last year, we were able to come, you came, and we did not let the pandemic stop us. We held a ceremony. It was smaller than usual, but the love and power was still there. And thank you. Thank you for making that possible, as well as the city and others who worked with us to allow us safely to be here. I also have to spend a moment. Scotty has been here from the very beginning, and Scotty has been a tremendous leader. I have gotten to know Scotty, and I think of him so much more than just an elder who is leading with this ceremony. I think of him, and I hope it's okay to say, I think of him as family. And our conversations over the last few trying years, the loss and pain that we all have had, well, it has been very important to me to be able to talk to Scotty. He has been very kind and giving. And that is what a leader is about. So Scotty, thank you so much. And thank you for making this ceremony correct. There were others, but you too have endured and made this the wonderful ceremony that it is and will continue to be. So I know that the mayor and I have some gifts we wanted to provide to the Redheart band. And the mayor has a really wonderful gift to Scotty. I made a necklace myself for Scotty, and I have a little gift. I'm a little embarrassed because I know there are amazing speedsters out here who will please be gentle if you see this necklace, because it's from my heart, but I am certainly not professional or talented and have the art of tribal members here. So perhaps maybe you could teach me sometime how to improve, but I have that gift and now we're going to do that. Thank you. Could members of the Redheart band come forward, please? to introduce the Chief of Interpretation from the Nez Perce National Historical Park. Laura, can you stand? She came out to just see the ceremony and experience it, and got here very late last night. So, Laura, thank you for coming.
Mary Woods. Back in '98, we came here and we was honoring that little son of a little bear that was mentioned that passed away here. And we asked for somebody to come forward and receive recognition. And a young lady stood up from the back and she had a baby wrapped around her. Baby was on her breast, had a shawl or whatever, had it tied there so she could walk it across. So I met her in the circle and I asked her what her name was so I could introduce her. And she said Mary Woods. And the name of Woods, and I just about went bananas. Something like Uncle, Banana Boy. I knew this story very well. I've happened all kinds of research because of the memorials. So I was well aware of the Woods family and what they played, the roles they played in 1877. And she's been coming here every year. That little baby we honored, no longer a baby. We've come to love this family very much. They're just like Nimipo to all of us. They come to the reservation. She met my daughter at the fishery in Rapid River. And she talked about that. And my daughter was really honored when she learned the story behind it. So at this time, we're going to turn this over to Mary and the Woods family with our deep appreciation of our hearts. We learn to love them just like family. Mary?
Thank you, Scotty. It is such a privilege to be here, and we love you with all our hearts. We love all of you as family. And I'm so privileged to be here with my family and be among our Nimipu friends, family. And my son here is Nicholas, who will help me present this blanket. My twin is here, Becky, her husband, my nephew Ryan, my niece Sherry, my niece Lori, who did so much to put together hospitality packages for the traveling Redheart band, and my brother Erskine right here, my husband somewhere out there, Joe. But you know, when we come here every year, it reminds us of the lesson. And I always get a little choked up because the lesson is that our lives are always going to be fleeting. And they take root in these ceremonies. They take root because there are empty chairs. There are those faces we don't see anymore. And I feel that very profoundly with Scott because I've been here for years. But what the lesson is that we build the lineage here, the legacy, the tied together legacy. As Tracy so eloquently said, the moving forward together, despite the atrocities we join together in moving forward, knowing that if work is important, it cannot be done in one life. And so we come here to honor the ancestors of the Redheart Band. But we also honor just the future legacy, the lineage that we all built together, that intertwined. And you know, in American society, these occasions are so rare. You know, you go to certain ceremonies to honor individuals, but there's very few in American society, non-native society, very few I can think of, where you would go to a ceremony to honor legacy and lineage of families and people who carry on. And that's what the lesson is. And I think that's why Scotty is so empowered to come and inspires us all so much every year. And we all thank Chemo for bringing him here. Chemo, thank you. And for all the family relatives of the Redheart Band for bringing such special people here over the years. And we have a blanket that we always give on this occasion to honor the memory of the little boy, the baby who died here. And they were held in captivity. It was an atrocity. And he died. This baby boy was named Little Bear. And he was a member of the Redheart Band. And he died somewhere here. And he died here. He's buried somewhere here. And on that first ceremony, when Scotty had a little baby blanket to present, he took it off a horse that had no rider. And so if the horses were here, they would circle, for those of you who haven't been here before, and there would be blankets on the horses that didn't have a rider representing those who were no longer here. And so I think it was someone from the Redheart family took the blanket off and gave it to Scotty, who gave it to a mother with a boy, a young baby in her arms, and I was the only one in the crowd, so I stepped forward. Well, that young boy is in Chile, 6,000 miles away, but he called to give you his love, Scotty, this morning, and I've got his wonderful brother Nick here to help me give this blanket, and we give it in the spirit of this baby boy, because when I accepted that first baby blanket, I said, on behalf of the people of Vancouver, so all of us, we vow never to let this story die. And so when we give a blanket to honor the memory of this little boy, Little Bear, we give it so that the story will not die here. And we also give it so that it will go back to some baby in Lapway or somewhere else, some Redheart family member. And all these blankets over the years have now been dispersed, 23 or 24 of them. And so we hope that dispersal will spread the story of honor throughout the family. So we would like to give it to Dee, to give it to a member of the Redheart family who you deem appropriate, a little boy, to give to your young member of the Redheart family. Kitsia. And I think I have my relatives. Is this okay, Scotty, to hand the microphone to my relatives, Erskine, Lori?
Well, welcome from the Wood family to everybody here. As many of you know, the Wood family's friendship older than I am. And regrettably, we've all had a welcoming dinner. We'd love to have the regular family coming every year. COVID obviously delayed that, pulled off for a while, then we'll come back. I'll let my daughter speak to that in a few minutes. memory forever. I'd like you to have it, Scotty. Interestingly enough, when I took that photograph, I was 13 years old. And by coincidence, 13 years old was the age of my grandfather when he was invited to live in Chief Joseph's teepee in West Salem. Interesting coincidence. So, welcome to everybody. I'm going to pass the microphone to my daughter, Lori, who is now, I don't know if it's fortunate or not, she has inherited the responsibility of Redheart Dinner.
Our roots run so deep with Mimi Poo. We go back many, many generations, which started with the end of the wars between the Army and the Lascars. We have honored that friendship through many, many generations, and the friendships that have come from all of it with our friends of the Redheart family and the other Lascars tribal members run very deep in our roots. I wanted to share a couple gifts today that we should talk about. So, the dinners, yes. I'm honored that the local tribes want to host. That is just beautiful and fantastic and so meaningful. It means so much in our community. We've done our best to provide hotel rooms and food through the past couple of years, and it's been very difficult, but so important that our Redheart members can come back and honor their ancestors. Today I bring a couple gifts. Is Jessica nearby? Is Jessica nearby? Okay. So my first gift is a native plant that I love very dearly. A delicate plant that loves the shade called a Redheart. And it means very much to me to gift this to you so that you can find some shade. My second gift is a little bit more materialistic, but I'm fortunate enough to work at a company that allows me to share some beautiful gifts. And I would like this gift to go to a teenager in respect to the community that's trying so hard to heal. So if you have a tribal member that you feel can benefit from some shoes for a teenager, who is this gift to? The last one is I was shopping, and my husband Michael, who of course enjoys his background, Michael, we've been working on this plant at our house, a boxwood, that when I moved into the house, to me looked like a bear. I chopped it a little. I might have gotten in trouble with it, but every year it looks more and more like a bear. And I began this gardening in the moonlight thanks to our friend Becky Archibald, who loves moonlight gardening so much. So when I found this blanket, the little bear, it just spoke out to me. So I'd like to share this bear with a member who has a young son or a daughter that can be wrapped so gracefully. It's okay if you'd like to accept on behalf. I know how shy kids can be. Okay. participating in our community. And my daughter's now at Wazoo, so I've done that journey. It's a long drive, and I appreciate you guys taking the time to work so hard to come here year after year. Thank you.
I don't know if we had any others. Of course.
Easton. Chris Lee. As you see these blankets that the family is going to be standing by. Samantha. They honor their elders that have passed on, and those that were imprisoned here. And this is the way of them giving away the memories and honoring them today. Normally what they do is they have these 4 blankets along with the horses that are going around throughout the fort here. And they have people that they have selected that continue to be supportive of the family during the memorial and what they're doing. And as they're riding these horses and they have these blankets, they often think of their elders, as you heard Scotty mention, the ones that aren't here. All of his sister-in-laws and his brother-in-laws that used to come here. And they honor them today by giving away these blankets in honor of their family members that have passed on throughout the years. As you heard him speak, there was many elders that sat here with him, of the relatives that you see, of the children and the grandkids that are standing up here before you. And they want to continue to do that and carry it in the way that their elders told them to carry this on. And so they do this today with these blankets that they have. And so they're going to be calling upon certain individuals to take these blankets on behalf of their relatives. In honor of Tom Redheart, you see this blanket here that Mitchell is holding on to in honor of Tom Redheart. They want to present this blanket to Clendon Allen to come on up here and receive this blanket in on behalf of the elder Tom Redheart.
on behalf of the late Lucille Redheart Wilson, the granddaughter has a blanket here that she wants to call upon Sherry Scott to come on up here and receive this blanket on behalf of her grandmother, Lucille Redheart Wilson. And on behalf of the elder Ty Redheart, Sam has this blanket that, along with a beaded keychain, that she wants to present to Royce. Come on up here and receive this. And on behalf of the late Catherine Redheart Kowalski, as many of you guys know, that she also was into the teaching division of schools. Not only that, but also teaching the knowledge and the language, and she was also getting into the history of her people. And on behalf of her grandson here, Easton, he would like to call upon Patsy Whitefoot to come on up here and receive this blanket and this necklace. Shinamaniknam Patsy. Vaniksha Twapat, that's her identity, her Indian name that she carries. As you know, that Patsy, she's also she does the teaching also, and she takes care of a lot of the children on the Yakima Reservation. And she is also a part of the Confluence, and they are the ones that have provided complimentary drinks of coffee and the donuts and the things. And so they want to honor you in that way today. And the family also wants to call upon those veterans, those of you that carried the flags. They have a gift up here for you, a flag bearer. They want to also call upon 3 more veterans to come on up here and receive a gift. Those of you that are out in the audience, if you're a veteran, they ask you to come on up here. One right behind you there. Mitchell. They are receiving a towel and also a license plate cover with the Redheart Memorial Tamina Ilk Band, and also a flag. Come on up. Because as it was mentioned throughout the talks, and the family, they talked with the elder here, Scotty, and as many of you guys know, what the POW represent, prisoners of war. And this is what the Redheart has represented, is the POW, because they were the prisoners of war of the Nez Perce 1877 war, and they got captured and they came here, and they were imprisoned here at Fort Vancouver. And this is the reason why they have the POW honors for the relatives. And they want to thank the veterans that have made the time to be here today. Because the elders in the past, the ones that were here, the ladies that we've mentioned, they've talked many times to the children and the grandchildren about honoring the veterans. Because in their family they have many of them that have served their time. In fact, they have some that are even the singers that come here on a yearly basis that couldn't be here. And so this is how they remember these things as they come to them all the time on a yearly basis. And they want to continue to carry that through this time of what they're doing. And they do have a few other gifts that they're going to be handing out to the people. Some of them have names on them and some of them don't. But they're going to try to take them as far as they can go with what they have. In the way of the Nimipu people and the elders that were here, this is part of the teachings that was left behind for them to take care of, to always give to the relatives. Doris also wants to call upon the Woods family to come on up here and receive one of those license plate covers. Come on up here and see Doris and the family. As you heard Scotty as he spoke, his family many years have taken care of the Redheart family, and they continue to do that. They honor them with a feed that they have on Friday nights at their homes. And they welcome them in all the time to be there, to have dinner with them and break bread and talk about the things of this day that has come up upon them. I want to call upon Bob, Tracy, and Stacy. And she also wants to thank you for bringing the good weather today. Right, Bob? You and Scotty brought that good weather today for us. I'd like to have the mayor and they have that license plate cover and a necklace for you. Okay, and the family's going to disperse the rest of it. So Mitchell, Easton. As you guys can see, they do have their boss that's sitting out here right on the chair. Next year she'll be sitting right here right by Scotty.